Hello and welcome everyone to Beyond the Wind, the podcast about the Kingkiller Chronicles, written by Patrick Rothfuss, where we reread the series chapter by chapter and just spend some time in the beautiful world of Tamrind. My name is Marcy, and today I'm joined again with Leo. Hello Leo, how are you?
Hey, how are you? It's been a long time.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know exactly how long it's been, but it's probably, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months, I don't know.
Yeah, today we'll start with a short episode to gain a little bit of momentum and to try to be a little bit more active again. What chapter are we looking at
Yes.
today?
Today we will go to chapter 22, A Time for Demons. In this chapter, Quoth tries his luck at Hillside, the rich part of Tarbean, where he gets brutally beaten up for begging. Near to death, Encarnus, Lord of Demons, shows up and gives him a silver talent. Quoth then gets a blanket and food and spends the beginning of New Year's on the roofs of Tarbean. So, Leo, what were your first impressions when you read the chapter?
The first thing that I was amused about, it's about in the very beginning is talking about the Temple of Telu and that the priests there give them a loaf of bread sometimes if they say a few prayers. And he also says that sometimes the grey robe priests try to get me into to come into the church to say the prayers, but I'd heard rumors and ran away whenever I was asked. What do you think there are the rumors that he is talking about?
That's exactly the same question that I had.
Mhm.
I don't know if they take children in, probably that they don't get out, or I don't know if there are darker rumors that they, I don't know, sexually assault the children, or maybe that they keep them as kind of slaves. Um, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I had thought exactly the direction you were saying because I don't know about Patrick Rothfuss' religion and his beliefs, but it's a critic at at the Catholic Church that we've seen multiple times. The critics of pedophilia and stuff like this. So maybe it was an opportunity to take a jab at the
Hmm.
Christ Church. I don't know.
Okay, so you also think that might be like in the sexual direction going?
Yeah, I can imagine these kinds of rumors being common. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter where you live.
yeah. But also, of course, could just be. I don't think that. I think Rothfuss has some darker things in mind, but it could be
Hmm.
just like when you are playing as a child, everyone had those rumors about this one place
Hmm.
where you didn't dare to go because it looked scary or something, but it's just like, yeah, those fun places for children to be a little bit scared of.
Yeah, that could also be. I've tried to Google if Patrick Rothfuss is religious in the meantime,
Hmm.
but I've found some good claim.
Yeah, I don't think that he is because, yeah, as we see, I think in this chapter, he makes maybe a little bit of fun about them, or at least
Hmm.
he doesn't put them in a good light.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I don't think that he is too religious.
Yeah, that would surprise me as well. Is the Telu seems like a critic of the religion every time he mentions them.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so we start this chapter. Quoth tells that he has been a few months now in Tarbin, I think 2 months, and he kind of learned to beg, to steal.
Hmm.
And yeah, we know about these two parts of Tarbin, hillside and waterside. Hillside for the poor and waterside for the rich. Ah, no, vice versa.
Yeah.
Waterside for the poor. And yeah, then he goes there.
Also,
Hmm.
there is the context that is midwinter pageantry. So I have tried to find out what exactly it is. It is a tradition that they have every year, and it sounds like
Hmm.
some kind of mix of our Halloween parties and New Year's evening. Did you understand
Yes, it
exactly what
does.
it's about?
Well, I'm not sure what exactly as well, because, yeah, of course, in the end of this chapter, we see that a new year has begun. So it definitely is part of New Year's. Then midwinter, I think midwinter is the shortest day of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So
10 days
yeah,
before New
that's
Year's
that
Eve.
about.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I think here we have like this tradition or this game where it goes for 7 days, and in the beginning there is like Telu and Encarnas. So this is just people playing them, and they have
Mm-hmm.
these masks, and then there are multiple demons. And as I understood it, that Telu can banish those demons
Mm-hmm.
forever, or for, yeah, just kill them, or yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just make them vanish. And yeah, I don't think it's hinted that he will not do this, not every demon until midwinter, but I don't know, he still wins, I don't know, or the demons will be banned then. And this is like kind of a game that they are playing. Like the demons are doing mischief, and Tilo is trying to save everyone.
Mm-hmm. There was a description of one of the prank that the demons play of the people. Some some guy gets pushed off the street, and the woman gets lifted up off her feet. It sounds a bit extreme. Do you think you would enjoy such a ritual in your winter ritual?
I think it's a bit too much. I think everything with physical contact is too much. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds like the German answer. Um,
Tell me, what is the French answer?
no, I don't think they are too different, but I think at least it will be. I can understand people having fun when they see it, and
Yeah,
there's a happy end, but it doesn't seem too fun for me either.
yeah. I like the concept in general, that these little pranks, or yeah, these little things. I think that's funny, and also that you always can, yeah, ban them with calling Telu's name. I like the idea a lot, but yeah, it's a little bit too much.
It reminded me of something that we did in France sometimes. I don't know if it exists anywhere else, but on April Fool's Day, you can cut fishes out of paper, and you can put some tape on them, and you can tape the fish out of paper on the back of people without them noticing. So the people are walking around with a fish on their back. That's a very common prank on April Fool's
I've
Day.
never heard about this before, but it sounds funny.
Yeah, this was
Have you done this before?
yeah, in school time it was very common to do this.
Amazing. I love it. And yeah, so yeah, we have this thing going on. And also I think in a lot of our tradition or religions, I don't know, that midwinter is a day where, I don't know, ghosts or yeah, something from the beyond is closer to our world. I think I've heard this in many many different other contexts.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think this concept of midwinter being where these worlds closer together, it's nothing new.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah.
So
So Quoth goes to Hillside, and yeah, he sees these two people, one getting his purse robbed, the woman being carried away, and she calls Telu's name. Then the demons are leaving, and what happens next?
um, and then Quoth is emboldened by what he had seen and start to beg of a lady, and the lady gives her something, and not the smallest piece. It's what does he get? It's a
A silver penny.
A silver penny. Do you still know what the different pieces are worth?
I'm not too sure anymore. No. So here it says specifically that a silver penny is worth like 10 copper pieces, I think.
Hmm.
Um, so
Or 50
yeah, I'm
iron
still a
ones.
little, yes, I'm still confused about these because I think, especially in Tabin, we have different coins going
Mm-hmm.
around because it's also a big city. But I still remember that the coin's worth is by its weight of its material.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not like we have like paper, there's a value written and it's basically
Mm-hmm.
worthless paper by
Mm-hmm.
material. So yeah, if we compare the silver penny to the silver talent later,
Mm-hmm.
the silver talent must be a bigger coin,
Mm-hmm.
but the coin cannot be like 100 times bigger, right? So it will
Yeah.
be like a coin that's maybe 10 times bigger in weight if
Mm-hmm.
it goes high. So yeah, this is how I try to compare those values.
Yeah, and also I was surprised because at the point where he gets the silver talent, he is worried about it slipping out of his hand. So it cannot be too big. If it will be, I know he's injured at the
Mm.
time, but if it's too big, you just like drop it.
Yeah, that's true. So it still has to be like a coin that's, yeah, as you say, it cannot be something that you have to grip with all of your fingers.
Like with both hands. But it's a cool, it's a short moment of joy for Quills because directly
Hmm.
after he gets his penny, the guard comes up to him. Do you assume
Yeah.
it's just forbidden to beg in Hillside?
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know if it's forbidden, but definitely as we see that the guard can be in some, I don't know how he said it, that his name can be written upon, or I don't know that,
Yeah. What do
yeah,
you
how he
think he
said it.
missed? That means he didn't do his job right or something.
Yeah, so I think he is paid for yeah, looking that nobody begs here,
Mm-hmm.
because it seems like there will be less customer.
Mm-hmm.
People may be feeling not too good if beggars are around.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it seems like he said that he has not done his job or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, this I think. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I supposed to. I assume because it was maybe a bit lazy or didn't do what it was supposed to do about watching for beggars before they start to beg. But
Mm.
it's a big it's a lot to expect to someone to stop beggars before they start to beg because
Yeah,
you cannot be so quick most of the time. But maybe
yeah, definitely.
it was still stressed about it.
Yeah, and I think this man is, yeah, very serious about this then, and
Mm,
he, I think he beats Quoth up like he has never been before. Even Pike
hmm.
did not beat him up this
Yeah.
badly.
Hmm.
And
Also,
yeah, this. Mhm.
also that's interesting because they at first there's a flight situation where Cross tries to outrun the guard, and I was thinking Cross is maybe around 13 years old at the time we said.
Mhm.
So a 13-year-old boy in the street is already tough to catch, and the guard has a full armor and with iron boots and something like this, heavy boots they say. So I was curious about how easy you think this is to catch a young boy with an armor on.
Mhm. Um, yeah, good question. I think it's still very likely that the man is fast. I think about the young kids doing sports that I know who are like around this age, and I think 13 is, it's still young. So I think a grown man who is fairly fit is still quite a bit faster.
Have you
Probably.
Have
I
you
don't know
already,
how heavy the armor is,
yeah,
but
have you
yeah,
already wore
it's there.
something similar to an armor?
And I don't think so. Maybe I can very well imagine how heavy it is. Um, but I still think that the man would be fast. And also, I mean, he's a god, yes, but I don't think that he has some like battle armor, how you like in
Mm-hmm.
medieval times. He will
Mm-hmm.
have some,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know, just some leather, or I don't know. How do you think?
Yeah, yeah, and heavier armor. Um, was thinking about what one time I play bubble football. Do you know it when there's
Hmm.
like some kind of big bubble of air that's pumped around about you, and you play
Hmm.
football with it, and you can bump people off because everyone is like
Hmm.
so so bumpy. So, and
Yeah.
it was so hard to run with it, and I already thought it's not a lot of weight; it's just a bit mm, im imprisoning you. So it's maybe a bit
Hmm.
tougher to coordinate your movement, but it was still very hard to run. So I would think, yeah, a 17-year-old might have outrun me with this outfit.
But yeah, you cannot forget that he is his job is to be a guard,
Hmm.
and I think like 50% of times it's about standing somewhere, and 50% of times is about catching some thieves, or
Hmm.
yeah, running to like catching some beggar or something. So I think his uniform has to be made so that he can still run.
Maybe that's good. That's a good point.
Yeah, I think it's very unfortunate that Quoth runs into a dead end where
Hmm.
there's no way out. And then, yeah, he gets beaten up and loses his coin in the snow. He cannot find it because his fingers are so numb that he wouldn't even feel it if he touches the coin.
Do you think the coin is still here? I always assumed the god took the coin.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I think it's still there.
Hmm. I assumed the
Yeah, I
god
don't
would be
know.
very happy to have a little bit of a of a of a bounty to have after this very
Yeah,
successful build up.
true, true. Okay, yeah, then I don't know. Quoth stands up and he walks back to Waterside, right?
Hmm.
Or he at
And
least tries to. And on the way, he falls down and falls unconscious, right?
yes, it was in a very bad shape. With the description of the beating, I was already very surprised that he managed to get up and leave. I
Mm.
I didn't remember at the time, and so I thought he was just falling unconscious in hillside and just wake up somewhere else by some help of someone. But no, it gets up on its own, and it's funny because the obviously the hero always has to get up on its own when he needs to, but this time it felt like it felt like a bit lucky.
Yeah, but I don't know. Humans are very capable of things. I heard about a real story where
Hmm.
a woman's plane crashed and she was the only survivor, and
Hmm.
it was somewhere, I don't know, in the Amazonas or somewhere very abroad from every human
Hmm.
science. And she also had like a broken leg, and there were, I don't know, by the time she was found, like maggots were in her skin, and she was really, really in a rough shape, but she managed to walk very, very far
Hmm.
along a river until until she found some humans.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think when it's about survival, then yeah, a lot is possible.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe adrenaline will be enough.
Mm. Okay, so yeah, then he felt unconscious on waterside and thinks about this bird, fire and shadow bird that wraps around him. And yeah, he was really, really near to death here, right?
Yeah, it seems like if nobody came, that it will never have woken up.
Yeah. And then this there's a person waking up him, and it is Canis, Lord of Demons. What do you think
Mhm.
about this?
Yeah, that's funny because at the beginning of the chapter they say that his father played a very good Encanis, so it's a
Hmm.
very symbolic person. Do you have any idea if this Encanis is any specific person that we already heard of? Like the person behind the mask?
Um, I don't think that the person behind the mask is anyone we know or
Hmm.
anyone we see again. I don't think so, but it's a good question. Um, but yeah, for me, it seems like, man, this is very unlikely that because there's only one Ancanis in this whole midwinter charade, and Tarbin, it was mentioned how vastly big this city is, and then this one person finds them. That's very
Hmm.
unlikely, but yeah, I think this is what makes stories, right?
Hmm. Yeah. And also, I was very ready for you to say, I actually have a theory that a woman that a woman beside Encanis is Dena. That's the first time they meet.
Oh, this is not a bad theory. I like it. Because Dano is near here, right? Ah, no, I think it will be a few years. He will spend a few more years here and before he leaves and meet Dana.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
Still too
beginning of
early.
Turban for him. And I think it stays 3 years in total.
Yes, I think so too. Yeah. So probably not Dana, but it would be fun. But no worries, I will have some theories in this chapter, so
Ah.
don't worry. Yeah, and so in Canis, he really, really wants to try, really wants to help Quoth, and the woman urges to leave because Telu, or yeah, I think Telu,
Mm-hmm.
and some folks are trying to find them, and yeah, then Canis gives him a silver talent, so more
Mm-hmm.
money than he has gotten from the woman before,
And maybe ever
and
had in insane at
and
this
what?
point. And maybe more than he ever had in his hand at this point.
Yes, exactly. And then, yeah, then he gives him also his gloves. And then there's something that I found very, very interesting because he gives him his gloves and then he gets described one last time. He was a form of darkness, black hooded cloak, black mask, black gloves. Do you know anyone maybe matching a little bit this description?
There's no one that I can think of right now. Do you have someone in mind?
Okay, yes. So there is one of the Chandrian who is described as being very much in shadow and you cannot see his face because it's, yeah, very dark around him
Mm-hmm.
and the shadows are attracted towards him. And this person is Heliax, Lord
Mm-hmm.
of the Chandrian.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So this raises a few questions for me. So maybe first question, do you think Encanis and Haliax are connected somehow? Because Haliax as some evil guy could be interpreted by people as Lord of the Demons. How do you think about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see the similarities. Also, there's something to say that he has a name. The girlfriend that he has says we have to go know Garek.
Oh,
At
is
so
it so?
yes, so that this person has a name, but I don't know anything about this name.
Garrick
Gerrek.
is his name?
Yeah,
Okay, interesting. Ah, we have to go now, Garrick. Ah, that's true. Interesting. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. So probably just a random person, right?
most likely. If anyone had a theory that says, "Oh, otherwise that will be you."
No, I don't know any Garrick.
Hmm.
Okay, but yeah, I think it's likely that Helix and Canis that they are somehow connected. Maybe the theories of and not the theories like the religion around this demon. Um, but then here's another interesting foreshadowing, maybe, because here in Canis, Lord of the Demons, he is the nicest guy, right?
Hmm.
So he helps him and gives a coin and gives hope to Quoth. So is this maybe foreshadowing that Helix is actually a good person and has good intentions? There is some more to back this up.
Hmm.
For example, um, when Danner writes a song about Lanre, and we know
Hmm.
Lanre is Helix before he got corrupted, at least according to Scarpi's story.
Hmm.
In Danner's version, Lanre is actually a good guy, and he doesn't destroy those seven cities, but I don't know if he saves them. No, I'm not sure about. But in that version, he is actually a good guy. So there is this theory that actually the Chandrian or Helix is good, and the Emir are maybe the bad guys, because we also know from the Emir that they did experiments with human bodies or yeah
Hmm.
did things about in the name of the greater good, and we discussed before that in the name of the greater good is a good excuse for evil things.
Hmm.
So what do you think about this scene maybe being foreshadowing that Helix is actually a good guy?
Yeah, that's a very good point, and I can see it. Also, I wanted to add something. Um, we have to maybe take the perception of Quoth with a little bit, with a grain of salt here, because it's barely living. It's somewhere between death and life, and he remembers like 20 years ago or maybe 15 years ago what he did. So it's and he remembers the exact dialogue between the person. So maybe we have to think about that's how he wants to remember the scene, and maybe not how it was really.
That's
So,
true. That's
so
true.
for example, the perception of it being very shadowy and something maybe is related to him being traumatized by Heliax a few months ago, and
Hmm.
maybe it's just what he remembers, but not exactly what he saw.
That's true. But if you had to bet now, if you have to
Mhm.
put a bet, do you think Helix is a good guy, or do you think nope, still a bad guy?
I will go with the very mature answer that maybe no one is good and no one is bad. Maybe they all have
Okay.
a good reason to do the things they do.
All right. That's fair.
Do you have
That's
a
fair.
clear opinion?
I think this comparison here between Incanis and Helix is very straightforward, especially because we have this paragraph starting with he was a form of darkness.
Hmm.
A form of darkness. It's very much sounds like Helix. And yeah, I think that maybe Helix, I cannot see him being a good guy, but I don't know. Maybe, yeah, maybe you're right that neither is true. And also, just one comparison that I would like to make. Um, he then said that Ankane stood in front of me, holding out a bright bit of silver that caught the moonlight. And there's yet also this theory that Dana's patron is one of the Chandrian, and Dana is very oftentimes compared to the moon. In nearly every scene that we have with Dana, the moon is there as well. I think there's
Uh-huh.
only one scene in all the series where Dana is there and there's not the moon.
Oh.
Also, the first time um, the quote meets Dana at the Aeolian. Her name is Diane, which is the Roman goddess of the moon. So there are a lot of comparisons, and here, yeah, this connection to Encanis and the moonlight is given here as well. So this might be that Dana is involved somehow here as well. And last theory about this chapter. This is a crazy one, but I think we have here Dana's true name because we don't know what her true name is. And this paragraph is just, every sentence is a new theory. And the next sentence in this paragraph is, I was reminded of the scene from Deionica where Tarsus sells his soul. So here's my new theory. I have never heard about this one before, but Deionica, I think this is the true name of Dana. What do you think about this?
Okay, and what do you think about it now?
What?
How did you came to the? Oh, is there any reason to think so at this moment, or is just the moment you thought about
Yeah,
it?
because for the giving of this silver cord, the moonlight, reminded quoth of Deionica, of this play. Then Deionica, if you leave out some letters, you can spell Dana. And I don't know. It just makes sense for me because Deionica is a play, and we know that Dana also knows a lot of plays and seems to have very much knowing there. And maybe if her name is from there, maybe she has some connections. This is my crazy theory for today.
Yeah, that's a funny one. And that's also fitting because we are really looking for a real name for Dana. There's a lot of them that are used, but none of them is like the official name. But it's also the question if she has any official name. At some point, it seems like she doesn't really have one.
Yeah, it's true. I think as well when she starts being alone, then she does not have her own name anymore, like really. But I think there still is one name that she used to have.
Yeah, but it's definitely a good theory that I could maybe there will be some other tips about it in the next chapters.
Yeah. And then here the name Tarsus is said, and it seemed very Latin for me, and I looked it up, and I don't know if it's Greek or Latin, I don't know, but it means foot, but I don't have any theories about this. Maybe someone else can come up with something.
Yeah,
But yeah, this
I have also
go
thought
on.
about the Encanis name because at first it's really seemed like an anagram to me. It's typically this kind of word where you can shuffle up the letters and you can obtain another word from it from the how the words looks. But I don't I haven't found something really good. Yeah, you can do something with scan, but I don't think that scanning is not a really interesting thing in this universe. But I mean, I fully agree with you. That's a good opportunity to look at the origins and the anagrams, and how you can cut up the names because I think Patrick had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I quickly asked ChatGPT and he said canines would be an anagram, which is like the teeth, the
Mm,
spiky teeth. But yeah, it makes a little bit of
yeah,
sense
and also
for a demon.
encanis as the canis root. That's something like from canin from the dog. So I don't know if it has anything to do with this kind of animal, but maybe it would be some idea.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I have too much left then.
Hmm.
Further quoth then takes the coin and gets a blanket and some food. And then spends, the New Year's on the rooftops. I don't know. Do you have anything else about this chapter?
Yeah, maybe one last point.
Hmm.
At the end of the year, he has some soft bread and warm turkey, and the year is in the end. The year is ending. Do you think he is past the worst year of his life? Do you think it's the point where everything starts to shift more positively, or is it too early to say?
I think, yeah, I think this has been the worst part of his life.
Hmm.
I know that right now he's not in a good state, like in the Waystone Inn,
Hmm.
and he has talked to the Cathay, who has said that who makes everything worth and as tragic as possible.
Hmm.
So I think I think there will be some tragic things happening still for
Hmm.
Quoth, but yeah, like this time I don't know how much worse it can get because he's alone and he is in pain and he's hungry. I think
Hmm.
there is really some basic needs for him missing.
Yeah, and I think the worst part is how old you are in the moment. I think be I think being traumatized as a teenager and being traumatized as a young adult is very different.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have nothing else.
Hmm.
Maybe maybe one mentioning I that he gets some wine. This is was very confusing for me because yeah, he is like I don't know, 12 years old, 13,
Hmm.
maybe, yeah, somewhere around this ballpark.
Hmm.
And yeah, that the girls give him some wine. This is very confusing for me. But maybe it was thought to warm yourself. I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, maybe Patrick was a little bit light in the consideration of alcohol.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think in the past in our world it was not very weird for a child to drink wine. In France,
Okay.
it was very normal for a very long time, and even more if you are
Oh,
living
I didn't
outside to
know
warm it
knew
up.
that.
Yeah, at some point, a doctor were telling that you should drink wine because it's good for your health. So there was like at lunch break at schools there was wine given to the kids. Explains a lot
Oh wow.
about.
Okay, yeah, then this makes totally sense.
Yeah, I don't know how much of it is legend or how much of it really happened, but it's definitely true that
Yeah, I can
it
imagine. I
was
think I've heard
more.
similar things about cigarettes that
Mm-hmm,
doctors said that you should smoke.
mm.
Yeah, the past was strange. Okay, should we head to who said it?
Yeah, and you told today before you're not really who said it.
Yeah, I brought for you a what said it.
Okay.
So I was looking for some quotes, but then I said maybe this is funnier if I ask you not who said this, but to ask you what did this person say, and maybe give
Ah,
you some
okay.
multiple choices if you need.
Okay.
Okay?
When you first said what said it, I was imagining that there's at some point some objects that will start speaking, and I have to say what object spoke.
No, no, I just thought that the name
Okay.
was funnier this way. Okay, so the paragraph goes like this. I smiled. What did you bring me? I teased gently. She smiled and thrust her hand forward. Something gleamed in the moonlight. A key, she said proudly, pressing it on me. I took it. It had a pleasing weight in my hand. It's very nice, I said. What does it unlock? So this is the scene of Ari and Quoth when they are on the roofs, and
Ah. Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, they both brought some things, and yeah, Ari had a key for Quoth. And what is that? What is the answer to what does it unlock? What does Ari say? You can try answering, but I have prepared some multiple choice as well.
Yeah, I think trying to guess what always said in this case may be the hardest thing you can do because always says the wildest things every time. I think I'm open for a
Okay.
few propositions.
Okay. The under thing? The moon, a heart, or a flower?
Hmm. I think there are good options. You did a great job trying to make things seem plausible, but again, maybe it's just, are we making everything very plausible, doing a good job? I will go with the moon.
Yes, you're right.
Mm. I thought about it because it was mentioned a bit earlier in the dialogue you read.
In the what?
In the dialogue you read, there was some mention of the moon. There was the moonlight something.
Again, I haven't understood where.
In the dialogue you just read.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was mentioned. I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay. So maybe you get twice wrong and then it gets right in the end.
So, it's very nice. What is that? Yeah, so I just looked it up, how it goes
Hmm.
on. So she said, the moon, she said, her expression grave. That should be useful, I said, looking it over. Said, well, that's what I thought, she said. That way, if there's a door in the moon, you can open it.
Hmm. Do you think it's talking about Dena?
Maybe. Maybe, yeah, maybe this key will be useful for getting to dinner. I don't know.
Hmm. Okay, I have
Okay.
one.
Hmm.
I think that will be pretty easy for you, but maybe you're out of form. I don't know. I tend to my inn. That means beer is 3 schemes and a private room costs copper.
Hmm. I'm not too sure right now because I don't remember that Quoth said this at his inn. Can you repeat it once more?
I tend to my inn. That means beer is 3 schemes and a private room costs copper.
I definitely remember this, but I don't know who said it. Tend to my inn. Is it in this book or in the next one?
It's in this book.
Have we read it already?
Yes, we had.
Oh no. Yeah, I don't know. Then I have to go with Quoth. I don't know.
Yeah, we already had it. That means it's a good chance that it's closed. Yeah, it says it at the beginning, when it's speaking with Chronicler before they start. Um,
Okay, really
yeah.
interesting. A good one. I was completely unsure. It was
Mm.
just yeah, because I didn't know who else should.
Yeah, there's nobody really that will be very clearly an innkeeper, so it was maybe
Yeah,
not that hard.
yeah. So if it, there are a few other innkeepers, but it's they are not so present person that
Hmm.
maybe they deserve a spot here.
Yeah, and I thought maybe there is some currency, and maybe you will know where the currency is from, and you will use it as a reason to find it, but it was not easy.
Yeah. Okay, this is it.
Yep, it was a lot of fun. I'm
Yeah.
glad we found time again to do it, and I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to
Same.
the next one.
All right. Yeah. Hear you again. Bye.
Bye.